At this point, I think we can all agree that World at War is a scary game. It's the most unique Call of Duty game ever made, in my opinion. It's one of the only Call of Duties that properly show how brutal war can be, from the intro where you are seeing allied soldiers being tortured and slaughtered, to the brutal character models that show body gore that hasn't been reproduced in any Call of Duty since. Even the menu is dark and somber. The music sets the tone perfectly, it's really atmospheric, and there's an underlying tone of sadness to the track. The campaign, and of course the zombies mode where the famous COD zombies all started, I think, for me personally, this is the standout game in the Call of Duty franchise. But today, I want to talk about something a little different. I want to speak about the multiplayer, and more specifically, the maps. Now, I'm not sure if this qualifies as liminal spaces, but it gives me that same eerie feeling as when I see other videos and other maps and just stuff associated with liminal spaces. And liminal spaces and backroom type stuff seem to be all the craze right now, and I wanted to return to this game because this game gave me that eerie feeling way before I knew what any of this was. I would remember those moments where you would be alone, 1v1 in a search and destroy, your heart pounding, your hands sweating as you tried to clutch it for your team. But in those moments, you would feel something strange, something weird, an eerie silence as you tried to listen out for the footsteps of enemies, the sound of their guns reloading, anything which would give you a clue as to where your enemy is. But with that deathly silence comes a new type of experience, because these maps were made for fast-paced action with the ambience of distant war, explosions, gunfire, and the constant roar of your general updating you on how the battle was going, and all of that was gone, and suddenly that fast-paced game turned into this. A silence so eerie and creepy it made you wish you were being swarmed by enemies. Right from the bat, exploring these maps again, I just want to say it's so weird. All these years later, being back here and it being so quiet feels so strange. I spent most of my teenage years playing this game till the early morning, and to come back here and see it so empty and forgotten, I suppose is the right term or right word. It feels creepy. It makes me wonder how actual soldiers and victims of war feel returning to battlefields in which torrid acts took place. I can't imagine that. Because of the dark nature of this game, most, if not all, the maps give off this creepy vibe. And I'm not talking the same vibes zombies give. That mode was made to intentionally scare you. I mean the type of creepy where you are searching for the last enemy and suddenly you're hearing disembodied voices screaming, whispering. And again, I'm going back to real life war. It kind of reminds me of Operation Wandering Soul. It's not the same thing, but it gives me those vibes. Operation Wandering Soul was a form of psychological warfare used by the US military in the Vietnam War. I don't want to drag on, so in short, the US Army would play tapes of supposed Vietnam ghosts wandering aimlessly, suffering eternally because of improper burial. Anyway, these maps do feature paranormal elements with no explanation. Maps like Asylum, where you could hear ghostly cries, whispering, and a ghost piano playing out of nowhere. Or how about here in the map Hangar, where you see a dead soldier followed by his ghostly cries echoing through eternity as he suffers endlessly. And also this bloodstain was a constant throughout the game and always reminded me of a dude holding a weapon, almost looks like a shillelagh. But it's only when you take a moment to properly sit down and explore the silence do you come across these creepy things. Like I said, these maps were designed to be played at high paced, fast gameplay, so when you slow it down, you open up a new world that the developers obviously wanted you to see. I remember when I was younger, there was rumours of actual ghosts walking around the lobbies. Now, of course it's not true, it never was. I remember reading posts and hearing stories from friends of nameless soldiers creepily walking around in a strange pose where they wasn't holding a gun or anything. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find it, or maybe I'm just creating this out of memory, but I'm sure there was a video which showed you could glitch your character model so that you could remain nameless and walk around with a gun, causing the character model to weirdly contort and actually look like a ghostly figure. Just wandering around these maps again has taken me through a weird nostalgia trip. I love this game, and I always will. It creeped me out back then, and it still creeps me out now. Time has forgotten these places, and they are now officially ghost towns, deserted for the rest of time. But not to all of us. Someone like me occasionally comes along, and who knows, if that someone looks hard enough, maybe if they squint a little harder than usual, they may see something that they thought they'll never see. But that brings me to the end of the video. I want to finish it off with a simple 1-minute clip of me walking around these maps. Feel free to end the experience here or carry on watching. Thanks for watching and see you guys soon.